I'm not gonna lie, I'm not good at geography. The US public education system has failed me. I don't know where anything is on a map. But I'm pretty good at math, guys. Don't you worry. I know all about shapes. There's a hobby place in big city where you can pay. Oh, that sounds really cool. Are arcades still like active in the UK? I mean, not like big things, but still like there are places to go. I mean, I don't think anywhere outside of like Asia is an arcade going to be like the hip happening hangout spot, you know. But I mean, it's better than them just not existing like they do here. As long as you can calculate the derivatives of functions. Ooh, I can do that still. Whoops. I still remember how to do that. I'm not kidding, guys. The US education system's fucked. But you know what? To be fair, that did become relevant in my everyday life. I have an engineering degree, so... whatever, man. You win some, you lose some. I have a degree in advanced robotics and mechanical engineering, but you know, I can't tell you where the fuck anything is on a map. I know like 5 countries, I'm sorry. It's why I didn't know the flags during Smash Bros. Seasides, yes. Places with few big cities. Small town, no? Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I'm in a big city and there are no arcades. It just... And I mean, there have been a couple of like attempts around the city to like make arcades very recently, actually, like within the past few years, but they always just die out. They never make it. Watch the flags and got the Scandinavian flag wrong. Hey, at least you know what that looks like. I can't even begin to picture the Scandinavian flag. Like I said, I know the popular flags. I know the US, Canada, I know Mexico, UK, Australia, China, Japan, and that's kind of it outside of some state flags. Some US state flags, which we thoroughly agreed on are all terrible. State flags for the US are so bad and pointless. Nobody cares about them. I know what the state flag looks like for the state I live in, and that's because it's on the license plate for my car. And that's pretty much the only reason I ever see it. Never even see it on like flagpoles driving around the city, outside of like the big state buildings. I'm more familiar with the McDonald's flag. Didn't even know states have flags. Yeah, they're pointless. They're stupid. There's a good Hugabees video where he goes through all the US state flags and ranks them, and like out of all 50 states, like 6 of them have good flags. there's like around 45 states where their flags are just pointless and stupid. And as an American, I thoroughly agree. States in Germany. I'm sure there are other countries with states or city-states that also have like their own individual flag designs. But no, the U.S. loves their states. We're named after them. California is the only good place. Of course, it has a bear on it. Bears are awesome. And also, there's like a designer brand of like clothing that uses the California flag as like their main logo, which I think is hilarious because state flags are technically public domain, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with them. US flag, like the country flag, is technically not, but that doesn't stop people. There's like a whole list of rules for like what you are and aren't allowed to do with the US flag that they actually teach us in school, because we're not a cult. We're not a cult, by the way. We don't stand up every morning and pledge our allegiance to the flag. No, that'd be weird. I don't know why I'm so opinionated on this topic. Of all things to have an opinion on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not another civilized country in the world that isn't like, I guess like totalitarian in nature. I don't just want to say communist because there are other things, and communist isn't even technically the correct thing. Yeah, I think the US is the only non-totalitarian government that's like, hey, let's have our kids every day pledge to the flag and talk about how great the country is. Like, ugh. It's messed up. Say it every morning for 12 years. I haven't said the Pledge of Allegiance in like 15 years, and I still know all the words. It's really weird, and is only something I really thought about like as an adult. Because, you know, as a kid, it's normal. Everyone does it. Then you grow up and you spend like 20 minutes on the internet and you see like one random Reddit post about how weird it is, and you're like, oh wait, yeah, that is really weird. Other countries don't do that, do they? This is a very weird topic. While playing silly anime girl weeb bait RPG. I don't know how I got here from arcades.
All right, I'll give you a compliment. You're cool.
Hi, Katie. I hope you're doing well, Katie. You know what, Katie? I promise, just for you, I'm gonna fix it so that there's not a cooldown on the bit thing, so that it spams the alert. So honestly, I don't remember setting that up unless it's like on by default. Yeah, that way you can get called cool all the time. In and out dealing with shit. I mean, don't apologize. No one should ever feel like they have to stay for a stream. For anyone, really. People have lives. People have things to do. I mean, hell, half the time I don't even want to be here. I've seen my content. I mean, I think I just spent like 20 minutes talking about arcade machines and flags, so... I haven't said a single word about this game the entire time I've been playing it, this entire run. What's even happening? Ooh, we get to do the skip here. We get to skip one fight. This is New Game Plus exclusive. Video gaming. Yep, it's the only dungeon in the game where we're put in the back and we're asked to go to the entrance. So if you have eject buttons, you can just skip the first fight. And just walk straight into the second fight. That is the only sequence break like that in the entire game. This game doesn't really have glitches. Which is really weird, considering how shoddy most of these games they are, just in general. Although, no, that's not New Game Plus exclusive. It's only New Game Plus exclusive in Reverse because they moved where the buttons are. In every other version of this game, you can technically get them before that dungeon, but it's a huge time sink unless you're doing plat. Don't one-shot. Yep, max level 999, with the best equipment for all three characters. They all have their super weapons and their super armor. And still don't one-shot things. Scaling on this game is not great. The game is the pin and everything interesting is actually around it. I think so too, honestly. I think the appeal of live content is, I don't know, just listening to a streamer ramble or trying to distract them. That's why rage compilations are kind of super interesting. They're super engaging because, like, it's usually the chat making the streamer fuck up really bad, and like the whole house of cards comes crashing down. That's like my theory on why the just chatting category like blew up in the last like 2 or 3 years. Eventually people who just don't even play video games just started streaming and just had interesting things to say. Just chatting is also where all the VTubers hide anymore. But unlike other VTubers, I'm not interesting, so I have to play games. keep reaching over during cutscenes to scroll down in my notes, but there are no notes for this category because it's New Game Plus, and I just hit triangle until the fights are over. Put on the Yoshi costume. I could draw a Yoshi costume. I thought about drawing a costume for like Mario Party or something, which I haven't really done recently. But still. I draw a little Yoshi hat. Aw, it could be like, it'd be a Yoshi hat, and it could be like the top of his head. And like his nose could be like the bill of the hat. Ooh, I like that idea. But yeah, I also went through and I went through every single stream I follow. Like I just sat down the other day and just went through every single stream I followed. I opened them up one by one and looked at all of their FFZ and BTTV emotes, and I stole all the good ones. So there is now a Yoshi emote in the BTTV emotes for the channel. I think it's called Yoshi Vibe. It's just the Yoshi from Super Mario Party just chilling. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, you get so many slots. I think you get 25 with FFZ for free. You get 50 with BTTV for free. And I wasn't using like even half of them, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fill up at least the FFZ ones and like get a few of the BTTV ones. Dream element. Oh, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. If people like my art enough to use them as emote stuff, that's fine by me. Like Noted. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Noted. It's so useful. You can use it in so many different ways. It can be... Alright, that was shit positioning. It could be like, oh, yeah, I'm paying attention, or it's usually just sarcastic, like, uh-huh, uh-huh. I love it in big streams where the streamer just like goes off on a rant about something like super specific. They're just gushing about like an obsession, and like dozens of people in the chat are just spamming Noted because they want the streamer to stop talking about whatever it is. I love how passive aggressive it is. Like, dude's sitting there, he's playing Jump King and starts talking about baseball, and everyone in chat just like, noted, noted. And eventually he just gets so mad he stops talking about baseball. Not one-shotting that fight, or taking 6 attacks to win in that fight makes sense, because that's supposed to be an unwinnable fight.
全力で行くわ。
ちゃんとやれる。
認めない。認めるものか。この私が。
And I think I made my Twitch account in 2014. I think my Twitch account is like almost 9 years old. I've watched a lot of streams. There was definitely a point in my life where I only watched streams. I didn't even watch television. I didn't even watch YouTube. And I never chatted. I still hardly ever chat. I know, like, I'm not going to assume people are being malicious about it. I just use that as an example because it's one of my favorite, like, I can remember the whole thing so vividly. I can see it in my head. I loved that, like, 20-second interaction. Or back when Twitch streamed all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just, I was more interested in watching the chat than I was in watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time somebody played Pot of Greed or Kunai with Chain, like, hundreds of people were just popping off. Yeah, I also think it really depends on the stream. If it's a big streamer, no, I usually don't have anything to add. But like if I'm watching a small streamer, someone with like 30 or less viewers, like there's not a lot of people there. And if I feel like I have something to add, something to actually say, then I'll chat. I think 30 is like the threshold for me. If it's more than 30 people, then I know that there's like 10 plus people talking, and I'm not really going to have anything to say that they're not already saying. Oops. Chat unless you're in a difficult mood. Yeah, that's fair. And you know, sometimes you just, yeah, want to chill. You don't really want to say anything. You just want to hang out. Can't type today? Wait, did I miss a typo? Oh, there it is. I see it. Target spotted. Look at this guy. He made a spelling mistake on the internet. Ha ha ha. Before starting the stream, I was trying to type the word grind for the title, and I misspelled it like 6 times in a row. It's a 5-letter word. It took me 7 attempts to spell the word grind. Again, you know, I blame the US public education system. I was good at math, so I never had to be good at spelling. It's one or the other here. Grinder was the autocorrect. I have almost made that mistake before, because I have a friend who does use Grindr, and I've texted him about it before. And I almost text that like to my grandma once. And I thank God every day that I stopped and read that text message. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. OBS correct. Yeah, I'm so sick of having to. No, speedrun is one word. I don't stop with the red squiggly underneath. I'm good. Would my grandma know what Grindr is? She actually would. Which is why I didn't want to bring it up. I don't want to talk about it with her. My grandma used to be a manager at her old job, and she had several employees that used Grindr. So she was very well aware of what it was, and yeah, I'm good. Alright, is it you? It's not you, you're the item. Yikes, that sucked. About 27 minutes. That's not bad. Yeah, my parents and even my grandparents aren't really that old. I actually, like, had a complex about it, like, in high school. Because of a friend's parent, actually. Because all of my friends' parents are a lot older than my parents, because my parents had me when they were very young. And in turn, their parents had them when they were young. So, parents and grandparents are both still young. My grandparents are actually younger than the parents of some of my friends. So, Grandma's not really out of the loop yet. Also, it's not a very nice thing to bring up to a teenager, asking about why their parents are so young. Don't do that. Don't do that to kids. That's not cool. Oh, why are your parents so young? Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do anything. 17 to 29, that's a really big gap. I had a friend who was like 15 years older than his younger sister. Like, that was the gap between them. Like, most people I know have like a 3 or 4 year gap between them and their siblings. Because you're cool and parents are cool. Yeah, I know that now, but like, back then it's just like, well, why is this, this, and this? And I'm just like, I don't know. Why are you like making me feel bad about it? Man, to this day, I still love my friends. They're all really good people for the most part. I'm not gonna say that they're good people in general, but for the most part, they're really good people. But man, I do not like any of my friends' parents, especially as an adult. So many of them are shitty. Just not nice. Not a uniquely US problem, but one of my friend's parents is a religious zealot, and she is crazy. I went over to his house one time for like 20 minutes, and I never went back because that lady really knows how to make you feel bad about yourself for reasons outside of your own control. Imagine if a kid asked why I didn't have a dad. And, yeah. Like, don't know what to tell you. I didn't pick this. I didn't do any of this. I'm just here. You know, it's like when you're young and your parents sign you up for sports that you don't want to play. It's the same thing with being born, right? You didn't ask for this. Your parents just signed you up without your permission, and you just have to deal with it. Is that a universal thing? I assume it is, right? I assume that that's a thing that happens everywhere. Your parents just sign you up for a sport when you're young because, like, oh, all the other kids your age are playing sports. And you just hate it. You just suffer through it for, like, a season or two. 1, maybe 2 years, and then you just never do it again. For me, it was baseball. My parents signed me up for baseball, and oh my god, I hate baseball. They picked the worst possible sport. Definitely cause complex. I agree. I used to be very bothered by those things, and it took a very long time to get over them. US Universal? Yeah. I just assume, especially, sports are big everywhere, right? I mean, you guys have football, not American football, soccer, but if I call it soccer, people get mad. Football, and that's a big thing. The only sport that would have been worse is American football. I never want to play any sort of full contact game. I was at home all day. I was at home all day too. That's why they signed me up for sports. Like, oh, for this one summer, you're going to do baseball. I'm like, no, I ain't. And then they made me do it anyways. They already bought all the stuff and they forced me. And it's like, okay, well, I played baseball for one summer. I sucked at it. Can we all agree that we're not doing this again? And then we never did it again. And then in high school, it was like, oh, you have to sign up for some sort of extracurricular activity. It's like, I'm not doing a sport. You all already know this. I'll sign up for the robotics club. They get to stay inside. Oh, pipe. No. They'd forget the PE kit and have to play netball. Yeah, with how bad health problems are in the US, they make us do PE like all the way through primary and middle school, and then how it works in high school kind of depends on your high school. My high school, you had to take it for at least one semester, and I didn't want to do that. So I cheated. I did PE online for high school. You might be asking, how do you do PE online? It's very simple. You log in every day and you type out that you did exercise. You don't actually have to do the exercise because you can just lie. They don't test you. They don't even check to make sure you're actually doing it. I would just lie every day. And then at the end of the online PE thing, it's like, hey mom, can you sign off on this to say that I did my exercise every day? She's like, did you? I'm like, yeah, I did. Okay. And that was that. I mean, cool mom. I don't know if she believed me or not, I'm gonna be honest. She just asked me, hey, did you do it? And I just told her yes, and whether or not she believed me, she signed off on the paper. I just never brought it up again. But it was a summer course, and I did have another class, which I did actually do, because it wasn't PE. And I did actually have to do coursework for that, so I think she just assumes that I did them at the same time. Whatever that entails. Damn it, I keep forgetting about these menus. I'm trying to drink. I'm thirsty. Alright, this time for sure. Yo, I should set the bot to also do random FFZ and BTTV emotes. Probably won't be hard. Wanted to steal the idea from me? By all means. I'm sure some other streamer has done it. It's one of the few ideas that I actually didn't steal. I thought, hey, that'd be funny, and then I just treat the bot like a real person. But I'm sure some other streamer has had to have done that at some point, right? Said you did it. Yeah, with exercise. It's exercise. And I mean, some days I did actually exercise. I like went outside, I would play with my brothers, I would like ride my bike. Sometimes I wasn't lying, but overall I lied. I'm not going to deny that fact. Yeah, spamming random emotes and just treating the bot like an actual viewer. Someone else is bound to have done that by now, but one of the few original ideas I've had for this stream. But I mean, it's Twitch. Twitch, YouTube, doesn't matter what platform you're on, everybody steals ideas from everyone else. Stream Elements often my only company. Stream Elements was also my only company for like the first 3 months.
体が動かない。
You stream to 0 or 1 viewers for a very long time. And that's completely normal, like everyone goes through that. The difference is a lot of people quit before they make it past that point. Rip Stream Elements. I mean, I used to use Nightbot too, but Nightbot just didn't work. I don't know why. I like messed with all the settings multiple times, but Nightbot just never did what I told it to. Eventually, Stream Elements was just like the better choice, honestly. Off and on because of self-esteem struggles with that. Yeah. I had a very similar
認めませんわ。
thought, and I still have very similar thoughts. Like sometimes it's just like, yeah, why am I still doing this? But like, you just have to set goals that are like reasonable, right? Like, I'm going to do these speedruns whether or not anyone watches. I mean, I was doing runs for like the first 30 minutes of the stream, no one was here, and that's fine. If I'm gonna do them anyways, I might as well broadcast them. If someone will like watching. Someone will like coming in and get me to ramble about flags and arcade machines. Crawlspacey is that person. Wasn't sure if you keep going. Oh yeah, and if you get to a point where you're out of goals and you want to stop, you can just stop. Like, if you feel like you're done, then you can just be done. Here to bully me and me exclusively? Yeah, that's what I just said. Damn it! Fucking whales. Has better JavaScript variables. See, I took a coding course like 10 years ago and I forgot most of it. So anytime I need something done, I do what all real programmers do and I just Google it. And if the answer to my problem isn't on Google, it doesn't exist. Just like all true programmers. How's runs? Run's really good. Run is 15 seconds ahead of world record right now on my second try. So this one's probably gonna be an easy one. World record. It's 1 encounter. I got 2 encounters last run. Overall, we're saving like. Actually, the encounter I got last run wasn't a special enemy. It was a regular enemy, so that cost more than like 3 seconds. It cost probably like 6 or 7. Man, New Game Plus is kind of nice. I'm not really even paying attention. I don't have to. There's no strategy. There's a single fight in the entire run that has strategy, and Like, it's not that hard. I lost 0.3 seconds. Never mind, the run's dead. Time to watch cutscenes. We can watch cutscenes, but we won't understand them. For the most part. Japanese is hard. Spider is the worst enemy in the run. Okay, run's not dead. Typically when I'm walking through dungeons and I just like need something to do with my hands, I spam the jump button because jumping is the same speed as walking. But I can't really do that because every time Uni jumps, you can see up her skirt. And yeah, I'd rather not do that for like 45 minutes straight. And spam the search button. But it doesn't really have that same feel, you know? Yeah, shame.
この私が破れるというのか。
I mean, if you angle the camera all the way down, you can see up most of the character skirts, but Uni's is the only one that you can see regardless of where the camera is. If you have the camera all the way up, nope.
私の番さて。私は女神を超え
I split like a second late, but whatever. Let's go. That was not as hard as I thought it'd be. The absolute gamer DeBombstew has not made an impossible time to beat for once.